To look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
They go play action here on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang. But it's second down. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And wide receiver Marquise Goodwin showed in 2017 he's more than just an Olympic long jumper. Showed more facets to his game. Not just a long ball threat either. Could catch it underneath. Nearly 1,000 yards in receiving. And had more catches last season than in his 4 years combined in Buffalo.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. And it's third down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
False start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. To throw is Garoppolo. Looking deep downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Breaks through the contact. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that. But he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
319!
Rodgers to throw on second down. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
And a sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have taken the early lead.
But without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 7-0. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First carry now for the former Viking. This is Jerick McKinnon finding some room at midfield. And now running right through it. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 14 carries, 57 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost like in his mind, he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it?
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
In the backfield, standing alone on 2nd and goal is McKinnon. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Caught left side by Cobb. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. So we've played 1 quarter here on a Monday night. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, it's Jones. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And Adams has it, complete. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Rodgers will bring him up to the line, 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
That's mine. Yeah. No. 319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Garoppolo going for the deep ball. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run with McKinnon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Jerick McKinnon, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
19.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Pretty solid coverage there by the All-Pro Richard Sherman, able to get a hand in.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A give to Jones. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, that's another short run there, and I think the easy thing is to look at them right now and say, let's get away from them entirely to start throwing the football, but I don't think you ever entirely abandon the run. It helps set a tone for the game for you, keeps your offensive linemen feeling good about themselves, and it actually tamps down a defense's pressure, because if you just throw it all the time, it's going to tee off in the pass rush.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. Now the Packers get set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
Here's Rodgers, able to fight through one tackle. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. We can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, Stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, it can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
Airing it deep for, this is caught inside the 15. They give them a gain of 37.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he stopped immediately there. Here again is McKinnon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA. Back now at Lambeau. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. And Gold is able to put it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
Yeah, and it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
On first down, Rodgers got a man. That's Allison. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
319!
The give is to Jones. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
158!
On third down, here's Jones. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
319!
Now Jones. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. This is Jones. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
319!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And Crosby puts it through, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. Pierre Garçon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Yes, it was a touchdown, and not just a TD, but how about a long touchdown that puts them in a great position now.
And now just an extra point away from tying this thing. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This is fielded at the goal line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Back to throw, Rodgers. And here's a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
319!
To throw is Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Here's Jones. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The Packers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And Crosby puts it through, and it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. He'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tremont Williams there to break that one up. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
This is caught inside the 15. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Packers, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm Brandon Gaudin, certainly.